Hey beautiful, welcome to another recipe video. We are having fun in the kitchen. Today's recipe experiment will be some low-fat, raw vegan, Ayurvedic jalapeno pepper poppers. Let's get poppin'. So these, from a doshic perspective, obviously it's jalapeno peppers, so Pitta friends, this might not be the best recipe for you. You know, just keeping that in mind throughout this recipe exploration. That being said, maybe you do fine with it with just some portion control, and also enjoying these only if your pitta is pretty much pacified and isn't aggravated. For Vata and Kapha, this is going to be friendlier for those doshas, especially Vata, getting things fired up. We're just gonna start with step one though right now. I'm getting ahead of myself. So what I got in here is we have 8 jalapeno peppers. They were quite large. I will show you for size, for scale, like face sized, quite big, hand sized. And I cut them in half and I removed all of the seeds and the pith. And the seeds and the pith are in here, which I will cover and put in the refrigerator and use in any kind of sauces, dressings, dips, soups that I want to spice up. So we've got our jalapenos all ready to go, and I've just placed them in this ceramic casserole dish. Y'all, just because you're a raw foodie doesn't mean you necessarily should throw out all your casserole dishes. They can come in quite handy for dehydrated recipes, because to these peppers we are going to be adding, I've got 1/3 cup of freshly squeezed by hand lime juice. So this is going to be our super simple marinade. And I'm just drizzling each pepper in the lime juice, and all the extra is going to run throughout the rest of the dish. Just like that. Now I'm going to place these in the dehydrator at 115 degrees for 4 to 6 hours, checking on them throughout that time so I can really dial it in and see how long these take to achieve the consistency that I'm looking for. And I will be flipping them halfway through, and I will let you know how many hours exactly I found to be the sweet spot. And yeah, we'll check on them in 4 to 6 hours and proceed from there. Cool. Alright friends, we are back in the kitchen, gonna finish up and complete our jalapeno pepper popper recipe with our stuffing and a dipping sauce. So let's get to it. I've got the jalapeno peppers, which I showed you. We marinated them in lime juice and dehydrated them. I let these go for about 3 hours, and the texture is quite nice. They are a little sticky on the outside from lime juice, so that's something to just keep in mind as a consideration. But I like the texture is a bit more cooked. For even more cooked texture, let them dehydrate longer. Some of the smaller ones got quite cooked almost looking. So it really just kind of depends on the pepper and the placement. I did flip them halfway through at about 1.5 hours. So let's get on to that stuffing. So we have a few different ingredients that will be going into our stuffing. As the base vegetable, I've got about 2 cups of celery heart, because I want it to be naturally salty. I don't want to have to add salt or tamari or feel like, oh, it needs miso, the celery is going to give us that nice salty element. And then I have 3 cremini mushrooms that I cubed up, so about a cup to a cup and a half. And these will give that umami kind of savory flavor, and also they're moisture rich but not as much as, say, the celery is. So hopefully balancing each other out nicely. Then here I've got a 1/4 cup of our sunflower seed cheese, or cultured sunflower seed cheese. And I made a video showing you how to make that. That recipe is also from my cultured cashew cheese. It's just a variation of that from my book, Raw Food Ayurveda, Volume 2. So all of that is going in. And full disclosure, this is my first time making this recipe. Once again, we are on the cutting edge of the kitchen together. So thank you for joining me. I'm gonna blend this up and see how the texture is. All right, let's see. Smells good. The consistency looks good. It actually looks perfect, which is exactly what we want, right? So I'll give this a little taste. It's really good, y'all. It's good. It's perfect. Yes. I love when things turn out so well on the first time you imagine them and then make them, and it's like, yes, that's exactly what I want. Well, friends, this is exactly what I want. It's salty, it's umami, it's got that richness from the cultured cashew cheese. It has a hint of garlic. It has that hint of lime from the cultured, I meant sunflower seed cheese. You know, you could put different spices in here. You could add additional garlic, but I did have a clove of garlic in the sunflower seed cheese, so I didn't add any more. But garlic, of course, is going to be aggravating potentially to pitta dosha. If you're vata and kapha, put some garlic in there. Put some smoked paprika in there, some chili powder, chipotle powder, cumin. You know, any kind of spice you like. Smoked paprika. I'm pitta dominant, so I'm going to skip the extra spices today. The jalapenos and our little dipping sauce are already going to kind of push the limit for me in terms of how much spice I can handle without throwing myself out of balance. So I'm being mindful of that, but this would be a great place to add in some garlic and spices. You could add in garlic chives, green onion, white onion, yellow onion. Any of those would be nice little tweaks to play with. So I am going to rearrange so that we can actually stuff those peppers, baby. Let's do it. All right, friends, ready to stuff some peppers. I've got an adorable little baby spoon here. I've got our stuffing concoction right here, and our peppers, of course, right here. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and stuff them up. One at a time. And as I stuff them, I'm gonna start arranging them on this beautiful wooden platter for serving. These would be an excellent appetizer to serve at a party, or a dish to bring to share at a potluck, a raw food gathering, or just a fun element to a family dinner. Or a cravings buster, right? What really inspired me to make these, well, two things. I went on a trip to California and I went to an amazing raw food restaurant, probably my second favorite restaurant in the world that does raw foods. And I got some jalapeno poppers there, and of course in my mind was kind of deconstructing the recipe, like how do they do this and how can I make a version of them that doesn't use salt or oil or nutritional yeast or tamari or anything like that. Like how can I really simplify it down to the base ingredients, be friendly to the doshas, all of that. So that was bubbling up in my mind. And I also, I've just been going to my regular grocery store, Sprouts, which is an excellent little health food store here, like Whole Foods, but better prices. And they had the most beautiful, humongous jalapeno peppers on sale for $8 for $1. And I bought 4 and started playing with them, and I was like, okay, I need to start working on my jalapeno popper recipe. So that, my friends, is precisely what is happening right now in this very moment. So that's how we got here. And yeah, peppers are really abundant in the desert in the summertime because it's one of the few plants that actually grows and thrives and does really well. Of all the plants I've been growing this summer, the peppers have done the best, hands down. They're very happy. Well, the mint is also very happy. So we've got very dosha-friendly mint that grows well, or pitta-friendly mint, and Vata and Kapha pacifying peppers. How's that for contrast and balance? Very fun. Nature is so amazing and generous. The plants are so inspiring. The more you work with fresh, whole, ripe, raw, organic fruits and vegetables, the more inspiration just seems to flow. And greater appreciation for simple combinations and simple recipes, simple flavors, using less spices, using fewer ingredients, and still being really, really happy and noticing the different flavors that are in these beautiful, abundant, natural ingredients. It's really such a treat. So I'm going to leave some space right here for our dipping sauce, which we will work on next. And I will finish stuffing these peppers, however, because they will be eaten. They will be fully enjoyed. I also made this recipe into a blog post, which I will link to in the description. And in there you can find all the dosha specifications to help you dial this recipe in depending on your dosha, because there are different problematic ingredients for different doshas. I mean, you'll see in the sauce too. And so that whole breakdown you can find in the recipe blog post. Now, just a caution about handling the hot peppers as I have. Even when I de-seeded and removed the pith from these peppers, I didn't wear gloves or anything. I just handled them with my hands. And some people are going to be very sensitive to that, and that wouldn't work. I recommend using some kind of food-safe gloves, latex, plastic, reusable, whatever you've got, whatever works for you and your skin and your body. Because there's a chance my hands are gonna burn later when I go on my evening walk through the desert, or if I were to go to hot yoga after this, my hands would totally burn. But I already practiced this morning, and I'm hoping that with a shower and with their hand washing between now and 8 in the morning tomorrow, that my hands won't burn in class tomorrow. But friends, there is no guarantee. It's so funny. I'll be in this pose and leaning to the sides, and my hands are up in the hottest part of the room near the heater, and sometimes they burn if I've been handling hot peppers. So just something to keep in mind. The threat is real, whether you're pitta or not. So we've got all these beautiful peppers stuffed. I'm gonna rearrange again and we will prepare our dipping sauce. Yum! All right, friends, we're ready to make our dipping sauce. So what I've got here is a 1/4 cup of soaked cashews. I soaked them in filtered water in the fridge for about 4 hours. 1/4 cup of cashews. We've got the juice of 1 lime. We've got a 1/4 teaspoon each of smoked paprika and chili powder for some BAM flavor. So this will have a bit of a Chipotle vibe, which I think will go very nicely. And then we have a 1/2 cup of filtered water. And now we will give that a blend. Smells like Chipotle. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, so I've got our dipping sauce bowled up. Got my tiny spoon here for a taste. It's nice. It's very tangy. It's got some heat. It's got a bit of creaminess. The texture, like I said, is perfect for a dipping sauce. It would not be probably so great for a drizzle sauce, but we only need it for dipping. I've got other ideas in mind for some pretty garnishes. So we will get to our plating now. So for plating, I have this lovely long wooden board. I have our peppers arranged on a diagonal. I have our beautiful little dipping sauce bowl, which I will put in the middle here, and hopefully it will be balanced and not spill everywhere. And I think what I'll do is kind of create a little bit more space as much as I can between each of the peppers. And then I have some beautiful leaves of cilantro. Can kind of arrange as a nice garnish. You could remove the leaves and do it that way. Maybe I'll do some leaves like that on our sauce. That would look really nice. So a couple individual leaves on the sauce, a few of these nice little sprigs throughout our presentation. You know, have fun with this, be playful. See what you want to do. You know, you could just finely chop the cilantro and scatter it as well. That would be very yummy. I think what I'll also do is add a bit of the smoked paprika on top here as well. So I will grab that. Add a little dusting of smoked paprika It's looking really nice, y'all. So here we go. Here we go, friends. You want one or two? Somebody's gotta help me eat this. Otherwise, it might catch fire. Now for the taste test. All the elements together. Y'all, they're popping. They are popping. Woo! That lime on the outside of the jalapeno popper, I think that's the key. That's the key that like makes this possible. Because it is hot. It is really, really hot. The peppers themselves are very, very hot. The filling is nice and neutral, not spicy. This is hot, but it's more lemony creamy than anything else and quite nice and balancing. But yeah, this has lit my my mouth up, and I'm sure my belly too. So I'm very happy with these. I hope you will try the recipe and let me know how it goes in the comments. Please like this video if you like it. Subscribe for more. I'm releasing new videos every day, so lots to share and lots to look forward to. Thank you so much for watching. Much love to you. And namaste.